Market to Market is everywhere you are. Subscribe to Market on YouTube, find us on the PBS video app to stream on demand, and add our 3 podcasts on your favorite podcasting app.
Well, to be right honest with you, we bumped our wheat acres because at the time we were thinking, $6.50, $7 wheat's pretty good, and so we thought we're gonna bump the wheat acres. It takes a little bit fewer inputs for wheat. It's not as high management of a crop, and then all of a sudden, you know what happened with fertilizer and inputs. Everything just skyrocketed, and luckily the price has not matched, but fertilizer has gone up 4-fold, and the price of wheat is up to about, I think, $10.50. So it's gone up $4 in the last 6 months. But you're still relying on Mother Nature. It's still got to rain. I don't know if you looked at the drought map lately, but we're not in a good situation. Western Kansas, I don't even know if their wheat has even come up from when they planted it last fall. Our wheat looks good right now, and we have I'd say barely adequate supply of moisture. We had an inch and a quarter to inch 30 about a week and a half ago. That really gave it a boost, but we're just kind of living rainfall to rainfall, which is what we did all year last year. So we don't really have a huge supply built up in the subsoil.
Give me a little information. Educate me on this sunflower.
2 kinds of sunflowers, oil and confectionery. Confectionery is what we eat. The oil flowers are what we either make into birdseed or crush for cooking oil. And so those primarily are what we raise, because the confectionaries require a contract with a company like Frito-Lay or somebody like that, so that you have a place to go with them. And from what I understand, I've never raised confectionery flowers before. I'd like to try it sometime, but they're worth more money, but they yield less. And so I think maybe it's a little bit of a trade-off there. But I'd like to try it sometime anyway. But I won't do it without a contract.
Sure.
Because insects and other things have become much more important, and seed size and all those good things. But the oil type is what we raise. We've got several drop-off locations, and as of yet, we've raised a few for oil, but primarily ours go for birdseed. And, especially during the pandemic, the birdseed market just took off. And in my past, the highest price I've ever seen for sunflowers is, and they price them by the pound. And so it's cents per pound. So 32 cents per pound was the highest I've ever sold sunflowers for. And that was 20 years ago. Currently, we sold sunflowers this last year for 31.5 cents per pound for a lot of flowers. And the price, I think, is only going to get better just because of what's happening in Ukraine and Russia right now, because Russia and Ukraine are number 1 and number 2 in sunflower seed sales worldwide. United States is down the list of ways, number 16, number 17, somewhere like that. And so they're not a big player in this. And so can the United States make up the difference? Absolutely not. We would have to plant a lot of sunflowers. And to be honest with you guys, just don't, and that's part of our job on the commission, is to educate people about sunflowers, that it's another viable option, especially in a drought situation. They don't take a lot of moisture, which is what I like about them. If you have limited irrigation, it's a good choice.
How do you decide right now, this year, as we sit here in April of 2022, what you're going to plant if you've got open acres?
So I don't like to put all my eggs in one basket, so to speak. I told you I did increase wheat acres a little bit because I feel pretty confident about that one. But as far as deciding between sunflowers, cotton, soybeans, and corn, they're about equally split. So the fields that I chose to go to cotton are, they could have gone to sunflowers, but there was a few more weed. Again, they weren't as clean as I would have liked to have seen. And so those fields are going to go to cotton. And they had just been beans, so I don't want to do beans on beans. And corn is a little bit risky, just in light of it takes a lot of moisture. Cotton doesn't take quite as much fertilizer as corn. Sunflowers don't take as much fertilizer as corn. Then soybeans, obviously, you could get by with just planting soybean out there with nothing. You wouldn't even have to put any starter out there if you didn't want to. We don't typically do that, but those are some of the thoughts that go through my head.
The full conversation with Cameron Pierce is available now, wherever you get your podcasts or on our YouTube channel.